Homer, say hello to your new ma!
Homer couldn't accept it and was completely devastated, but he couldn't stop them from holding the wedding. He could only stand aside with a drooping face. How did all this happen? A week ago, Homer prepared a surprise for the whole family, although he forgot to remind them to watch out for the stairs. Fortunately, they all loved his renovation of the basement. Marge praised him profusely. Lisa and Bart also loved the game equipment here. Homer reassured her that he already had a plan in mind. He was confident because he had read in a book that as long as he declared bankruptcy, he wouldn't have to pay his debts. But the judge told him that was the old bankruptcy law, and according to the new bankruptcy law, he had to use all his assets to pay off his debts. Homer tried to continue operating under the old regulations, so the judge directly assigned a financial officer to supervise him. When the financial officer was organizing his assets, he discovered that Homer spent $1,000 every month at the wishing for more money. He had to advise Homer to reduce expenses instead, but Homer insisted that each of his 3 bathrooms needed to have the same magazine. Marge was also unwilling to cancel her spending on the poker website. Homer canceled the nursing home expenses and forcibly took away Abe, who didn't want to leave. After getting in the car, he explained the situation to Abe. Homer struggled to walk the car home. He arranged for Abe to live in the basement, but not only was the refrigerator filled with his medical test samples at night, he also had to sleep across them. Marge really couldn't stand it anymore. So the next day, she invited Selma to help her watch the kids while she and Homer went out on a date. Abe and Selma were awkward at first. Both just kept eating candy without saying a word, but they would secretly glance at each other. Finally, after their eyes met, Selma broke the ice first. She made fun of herself for being alone on Saturday night. Abe thought she was planning to go out the next day, but Selma denied it dejectedly. Then Selma poured 2 glasses of red wine, and their relationship gradually grew closer. Although they seemed a bit tipsy, their minds were unusually clear. They moved closer and closer to each other. At this moment, Homer and Marge came back. They watched this scene in shock. Homer angrily questioned Abe only to learn that he wasn't acting this way because of being drunk. Meanwhile, Abe's thoughts became clearer and clearer. Despite Homer's objections, he was determined to develop a relationship with Selma. The next day, he invited Selma to a restaurant for dinner. He was honest about his feelings for her, but Selma was somewhat hesitant, so he directly stated his current circumstances and asked Selma to date him for a while to try it out. They officially started dating. Afterwards, they watched the sunset together, sat on the street looking at posters together, and went to play in the water together. They got along very happily, except Homer was gloomy. Even though Marge kept consoling him, he still refused to accept reality. A few days later, Homer was walking down the street cursing. Unexpectedly, Patty also wanted to break them up. She and Homer worked out a plan. After getting ready, they met up at the mall. Patty styled her hair like Selma's, and Homer also dressed in his disguise clothing. Now they just needed to be mentally prepared. Homer tried hard to imagine Patty as Marge. Patty also tried hard to imagine Edna's appearance. They kissed when Abe passed by. Abe, indeed, mistakenly thought Selma had changed her heart. Just as victory was in sight, suddenly Selma appeared. She pulled off Homer's disguise in one motion. Under Abe's questioning, Homer had to admit he would prefer Abe to grow old alone. Abe became emotional. After this farce, he realized he deeply loved Selma and wanted her to be in his life forever.